Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do, for this stage is haunted. Even the most charismatic casket is still a casket. Even the best written black poem can turn obituary and make a prophet. Play the stage with Black Death just to produce a point. Why is it that whenever I hear a black poem, it's always about death? As if a seance is the only way an audience can see me, like I'm not haunted, dying on this stage for points. Your wordplay is a firing squad to my melanin, and you're killing it every night. Call it blood poetry. Congratulations for collecting a 10. When you introduce my memory to the 9, does a black poem have to be a eulogy to the life your pen never offered me? Like you and death are pen pals, and black lives are your mutual friends. How badly I went to say that death and I are not acquainted just because we grew up in the same dress code. Do we look the same? Because we share the same hoodie. Similar enough to paint me as the same death that man has been trying to conquer for centuries. The ones who claim not to see our skin, just a skeleton in a hood and feared for their lives. Did you know that Black Lives Matter in poems too? That walking through those doors alive only to hear that I'm one of the lucky ones is the most defeated form of victory there is. So this is to the moment someone told me my poems aren't black enough. Said they like it rough. Said they want to hear poems about the life of a black man like mine isn't enough. Black man doesn't know about raising a son. The peace of mind is just jumping the gun. Black man doesn't know what it's like to live a full life. So there's death and struggle written in your genes. But your poems are about having dreams that pass us hope. And ain't that the most melanated metaphor of a simile you ever wrote? Now, right about getting shot in the streets. Right about the ghost of the company you used to keep about slinging rocks. Give that positive stuff a rest. So I guess I'm taking requests. What do you want to hear about? See, I know that all poems must come to an end. But if my story must be about death, shouldn't my bones be the ones to tell it? If there's any life to my story, shouldn't it come from my heart? Shouldn't my history flow from the blood my ancestors breathed into my lungs and delivered to those who've never heard the rhythm of my heartbeat? That rhythm that gives you courage to breathe, courage to dissociate this rhythm with the blues, to remind you that poetry is a reflection of our truths. Just write what comes naturally. I learned in nature that a creature has to evolve in order to survive its own poetry. So evolution is survival in our arts. It's Leroy catching a white man's bullet with his teeth. It's the eventual thick skin of Luke Cage deflecting bullets from the Harlem Heat. It's T'Challa and Shuri realizing they can't do it alone without the Dora Milaje evolution. It's realizing we are not alone. Are we? Bring black bodies back to life. In your words, your music, in your art, in your heart. Do not write poems about me. Write poems because of me. A black boy living and breathing boldly in this space, not as an exception, but an example when you finally decide not to make a martyr out of the melanin we embrace. And I embrace that it might prevent you from making a killing. I know. That's the point.